A good day from Pietro at Pietro's. Pietro's is our new space in the heart of London, where we are welcoming now watch collectors to have a real journey through the world of the independent watchmakers. If you're watching this, obviously you should have an interest around artisan watchmaking, independent watchmaking. We have been an online platform for the last 10 years. With a lot of events, so with a lot of the human touch was also prevalent in our events, in our one-to-one meetings, presentations, discovery tours internationally as well. But now we have a place that we can call home, a showroom in London. So where we will be also broadcasting every now and then, like I'm doing today. And today is a great day. We're launching one of the collaborations that took maybe the longest for us to be able to create and to finalize with one of those independent watchmakers that are really, really offering great value for the level of the quality that they propose in their watchmaking. And today I have the pleasure of hosting our guest from Madrid. Miguel is with us. Miguel is the owner at Ophion Watches, and Miguel and I have been friends now for a few years, and we've been through the good and the bad, and the fun and the less fun. Miguel, it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure being with you and in your new showroom that is looking amazing. So I'm really looking to screen in person too.
Thank you. You'll be most welcome, and we will have to have an Ophion event organized soon. We had an event with Andrea Strella last night, which was very, very good. We look a bit tired, but we're very, very happy with how things have gone. Miguel, I know you've been through a lot of changes as well. You have been working really hard to take Ophion to the next level, to really launch Ophion towards eternity in a way. So you have been creating the foundations to where you see Ophion developing in the future. Before we go on the launch of the product we're going to talk about today, do you want to tell us how the last 2 to 3 years have been for you, and all the positive developments that are happening for Ophion watch manufacturers?
So of course, because we started very, very young, like this past time, we have been learning that the level of craftsmanship and quality that we wanted to do in our watches. So it was a very slow process to also, because we were focusing a lot on giving a very, very good value. Our margins were very slow, so our growth was very limited, but not our growth in learning how to do the things that we wanted to do. So we finally reached to we have been 2 years or 1 year and a half more quiet, and we have been preparing the next step in the brand to do something really what we wanted to do since the beginning. That is to be very independent, to be very flexible, and to be able to create the pieces that we wanted to do, introducing all the creativity that we wanted to do from the beginning. But because when you start, the risk that you take are lesser, because you don't know how the market is going to respond. So you start step by step, little by little, being a little bit more risky in the design, in the identity of the brand. So it's like a process of discovering the initial idea that you had and how you are going to bring into reality. So
Yeah,
sometimes you take good steps, sometimes you make some mistakes, but the experience from the past to the point that we are now, I think now we are going to change the brand in a very big way. So we are doing also a showroom in Madrid. We are going to have a much better production. The delivery times and the quality, we will not depend as much of pre-orders or reservations. So we will now be able to do much more prototypes and to do something
yeah.
much more interesting. And
It's like it seems like you had to take a one step back to take 10 steps forward in a way. Because I remember when we started to talk about collaborating, you were telling me, listen, we are, we produce very, very small volumes, and there are limitations to what we can do. We don't work on big quantities. And you had a really, really strong opinion about putting your reputation out there as a value proposition. So you
Mhm.
want to showcase that to have a perfectly qualitative watch, you don't have necessarily to spend, the best part of £100,000, but great quality can also be achieved at the entry side of the scale. And you have stayed truth to that mission. Yes.
Yes, of course. Like even though the designs are getting more complex and the quality is improving, we always try to offer something really different. And that's also the challenges that we got, because being very small, trying to doing something very different, and like all the our movements, the modification and everything that we did. So it was a learning process, and we always try to bring something special, also in terms of value or specialty. Yeah. So at the end of the day, when you do some things different, the challenges are also higher.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, when we launched, obviously, it's now 4 years ago, the Guild Spectre, our first collaboration. I remember we were a bit worried about how well that edition did, because we launched 40 pieces. We were planning to produce them in different phases, but they were sold straight away. And we understood at that time together that there was a bit of pressure on your obviously supply chain to be able
Yeah.
to churn out these pieces in time. And the clients got really excited at the time. We're seeing here, and I want to say hi to Amar Sini, obviously, that is the while who designed the Guild Spectre with us, and obviously he designed it and then developed it with us, and he's also been absolutely instrumental to the second edition, which is the one we're going to talk about today. So in those days, yeah, Miguel, is when maybe you got a bit scared about your own success in a way.
Yeah, that's right. Like it was like an amazing reaction from your clients. So we were so excited, and that also give us the confidence to also try to go bigger. So yeah, it's like everything is part of a process. Like because when you see a company, like it's very easy to see it from the outside, but there is a personal or component that it transcends to all the decision of the company. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's something that all the experience really shapes the company, because usually you see the company like something objectively different to the people. So yeah, that's something that you as you learn, you also shape the company. So it
yeah,
was very amazing
absolutely.
experience.
And it was a learning curve, because then
Yeah.
we obviously, Amr being Amr and being very creative, we quite quickly were overwhelmed with how many other people wanted to be part of this Guild Spectre that we're going to show quickly again. And we could only make 40 people happy at the
Mhm.
time. And so we started to think about new ideas on how this could evolve in a second edition. And we thought about the Black Ember that we wanted to launch a couple of years back, and we are actually only launching officially today. Although 15 people got a first pre-allocation, and the feedback on that has been it's been also very very good. So between these 2 years, between the Gilt Spectre and the Black Ember, that I invite now Sam to showcase, a lot has happened for you, but now Ophion is in definitely a new phase. How is it different, this Black Ember, to what we've done with the Gilt Spectre, in terms of how you're working with suppliers, and the general quality of the piece and the value that is in the piece?
So, for me, the Gita Spectre, like we reach a very high standpoint of quality, but we wanted to increase also. So, in this time, so for example, to have all the colors, like the hands and the rings and the numerals in the same tone, it was very. We had to create, like, when doing everything at the same time with the same supplier, so we cannot do the finishing of the hand with one supplier and the dial with another supplier. So we had to manage to do all
Yeah, because
the
on this
yeah.
piece, Ammer's brief was all about creating the right contrast between the background of the dial and the obviously applied chapter ring indices and rail.
Also, the dial that maybe in the photos you cannot see, but it's very rich because we had like a very strong sandblasted in the black, that it gets some sparkling effect. It's not very high, but it's more rich in person than in the photos. Because also with Ophion we have always this philosophy of trying to always give more in person than in photos. That is
Oh yeah,
like yeah.
yeah. That's very true. I think with independent watchmakers, I always say that because I come from the corporate world, and the marketing of the big brands is so incredibly good that sometimes the counter effect is that you have images that look better than the
Oh
real
yeah.
product. Whereas with us and with independence, it's always the opposite. I think this image here captures quite well what we try to do with this dial. No, with like a nearly a Vanta black
Mhm.
finishing of the background. So how did you do the background of the dial, the main plate of the dial? What's the material and how has it been finished?
No, the material is brass, but it has like a very deep rhodium bath of the black color, and then is sandblasted with a strong steel medium that it gives some deep on the black. But for example, when you do the sandblasted, depending on how thick the dial is, you can do more stream sandblasting or less stream. So here we have like a medium that it gives like this more elegant finish, contrasted with the rest of the elements of the dial.
How come the obviously the rhodium bath would explain, but how come you manage to get as dark as this? Because again, I remember when Amr and the two of us were discussing, we really wanted like a Vanta black,
Mhm.
completely free from reflections of light, kind of surface.
So no, it was like with the composition of the rhodium bath that we working with the supplier. They like when we saw the samples, we say we need more black, and they achieve it. I don't know sure how, but
Yeah,
it was
and the sandblasting is also the additional element, like graining or frosting, that
yes,
prevents from those reflections of light if this is something that is not required. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, you can see here in the four levels, at the level of the minute marker, the applied indices, the chapter ring in the middle, and the hands. Yeah, they are seamlessly harmonious in both the color, the material, and the overall effect. So all of them come from the same supplier set.
Like the finishing in the fag end, exactly, because we
Yeah.
had to do it at the same time, because it's very easy to get different when you are doing the bath. It's very easy to have different finishing in the color, so it's not the same hue. So it's very important to do it at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, and then also there the frosting, there is a kind of a frosted effect to avoid reflection there as well, and to keep it very, very organic with the main plate of the dial.
Mhm. Exactly.
Yeah, and the material for all these four elements.
Everything is brass.
Yeah, it's all different ways of working with brass. It's amazing
Exactly.
because you would say it's pink gold actually
Oh yeah.
for all
Oh
of
no,
them.
like the finishing is 5M, but the
Yeah,
raw material is brass.
of course, of course. So it's all finished 5 and gold.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's absolutely stunning because we maybe some can go back to the gilt spectre detail of the dial, which was a different interpretation. And
Mhm.
it's on that that we decided to really go for huge contrast. And on this Black Ember, we really managed. Yeah, no, very good. On the case, what can we say about the case? So we wanted to keep the same proportions,
Mhm.
of course, which is based on a 39 mil, and I think the thickness is just about 10 mil.
Yes.
Um, we kept the same finishing of the case as well. Would you like to explain how the case is manufactured and finished?
So the case is made in titanium, and the lacs are produced separate and then invisibly welded. So the challenging is different in because we did before the gill spectre, all the cases were in stainless steel. So the doing the invisible weld in titanium was a new challenge. So it's very important how you do this weld between the lac and the case, because also you have a two different shapes, and it's very important that this welded is perfect, because if not, it's very easy to broke the lacs. So it's has a lot of components that are produced independently by the same supplier, and then in the craftsmanship in the assembly or the on the construction of the case is very high, because to have this quality of the lacs welded to the case is a very difficult process, and also it has a lot of defect that you have to redo again. So doing in titanium, it was a new challenge. Also, it gives more value to the watch, because it increased the complexity on the case and the final piece.
Okay, and 3 years down the line, you're still working with Vutiline and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
for the
We are very
cases.
happy with them. They have helped us so much, and we will continue to work with them. And yeah, it's an
So
amazing support.
there still exist suppliers that work more on common sense
Oh
and
yes.
relationships rather than just volumes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's very important to the relationship with the supplier is very important. So we will try always to have the best relation, because at the end of the day, well, it's you are depending of them, and to bring something different, you have to have a very good relationship.
Yeah, and the Cornavash obviously has become a little bit the signature of Kari Voutilainen's work as
Oh
well.
yeah.
But obviously, it's a big classic of Swiss watchmaking, and that comes
Mhm.
far before obviously Voutilainen's
Yeah.
work. And but the fact that you're using this iconic shape, which by the way I really love, is it something that is going to stay in the Ophion collection in
Yeah,
future?
yeah. I think it's going to stay also, because it's true that it has a little bit of carry image, but it also predated. Like in the past, sometimes it was used a lot. So it's a shape that I really like. So we will keep it in our design language, but we will also bring variations to the people that are not so attracted
Yeah,
to this shape.
it's so interesting. It's a bit like with the tonneau shape
Yeah.
that everyone identified with Frank Muller and then Richard
Oh
Mille,
yeah.
but it's a shape that has been around since the 30s with Cartier, of course. So it's a,
If you go to the no sorry.
no, no, you carry on.
No, if you go to the Patek Philippe in Geneva, you can see the shape of the Frank Muller and this kind of shape from long ago before Frank Muller.
Of course, it's one of those, and the Cornavash as well is a classic shape that I really have always loved, and I like also in vintage pieces as well. So yeah, Black Ember now as aesthetically the last, because Amr couldn't be here today to discuss on this, but if you see, if we show again the image with the Black Ember on the embers, the previous image that we had there, yes, here we see the embers underneath that go with the color of the case, of course. And then You know those fantastic moments when you sit by the fire, not here in London because fires are not allowed, but I live in the country, and in the country we are allowed having a nice fire, sit around the fire with the family, and you can see these embers of light coming out of the incandescent, pieces of coal. And this is exactly the effect we wanted to give. No, and I think we have achieved that because of
Oh,
your the great work on this, Miguel. Really, really well done.
thank you.
There are small details that you can appreciate here on this strap as well, which has been enriched by this lovely stitching that is pink gold, like the finishing of the elements of the dial. But Miguel, I will need your contribution to now talk about the movement that is equipping this piece. Once again, is this beautifully decorated caliber that you've become kind of famous for using in most of your pieces, which is the MHVJ by and so proud as well. Which is what can we say about this movement? How can you still offer at the price this level of quality and this level of finishing?
So for us, the movement is one of the most important part of the watch. As I always say, we like to design the movement with the same aesthetical language of the watch, because in a lot of so many watches you have like a standard movement that is designed by some other people, and it has nothing to do with the design of the watch. So for this movement, one of my passion was the design, the symmetrical designs of the old pocket watches, that it was so different. This kind of grenade texture in the bridges. So we completely redesigned the base movement of from MHVJ, and we give this strong axis that you have like a symmetrical axis in where you have the twin barrels, because it also has a twin barrels with 5 days power reserve, something that is very interesting for mechanical watches, or hand-wound watches. And also the contrast with the balance wheel, that you have display between the symmetry on the bridges, on the twin barrels, and the balance wheel that is completely different. And because how can we offer these qualities? Because we have a very good relationship also with these suppliers, that allow us to produce this movement almost exclusively. It's not exclusive, because I'm sure maybe other watches have it, but they have been producing this movement for us. And the decoration and the design is exclusive for us, not the base. But I don't know a lot of brands that use this movement. And at first, some people were worried that we were using this very different movement. But as time passed, I'm more and happier with this movement, because it's very reliable, and yeah, we are very happy with
Yeah,
everything.
putting put into context, besides the fact that this has become a big iconic part of your image as a watchmaker, this movement in particular, in the way it's finished, like you just said, but it gives an impression and a feeling of a neurological feeling that is related to really the value that is proposed. Yeah. When we're going to announce that the Black Ember is actually retailed at £3,850, excluding the taxes, between the dial, between the case, and between the movement, it's kind of mind blowing in many ways, which is why we were so excited about being able to propose this to the market. So I feel the value proposition is definitely evident.
Oh yes, it's half of the chart. Yes, the value is there. It's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Do you think you'll be able to protect this kind of price positioning in the future, or things are gonna inevitably change?
They will increase, but we will always try to keep it like the idea is always to offer something special. So our work is always trying to keep it. Of course, there is more cost and things change, but the idea will be there, or some form or another, because that's what we wanted to try to offer something special to as much people as possible. So yeah, that's what we work for to try to do.
Amazing. So, in terms of the technical specs, this will be a limited edition of 60 pieces only. So we have a third of them that are already pre-sold. The others are immediately available at the limited edition. So we can have a conversation. You can come to the showroom at any time and be able to actually see the piece that I'm going to show in a second because I have it here next to me. And yeah, 120 hours power reserve, so 5 days power reserve. Water resistance is 50 meters, and the level of finishing that we have just discussed with Miguel, that is evident, and it's really it makes us really really proud. And I have the watch here with me just to comment on the fact that things are always much better in
Oh,
real. See if I can play with the light here to let you appreciate both on the front and on the back. But I think the thing that we couldn't illustrate is the wrist, the presence on the wrist. And I'm going to do that now to show how it looks on the wrist. The other thing we wanted to achieve, Miguel, is a fairly light piece on the wrist. Yeah.
yeah.
And I think we're definitely there. And there is also another detail I want to talk about. Here we go. This is the piece on the wrist, wearing really really well. I have a strange habit of wearing it under my bone. For those that do the same, here it is. Otherwise, here it goes on the right side. Really really nice. Really really. Also, it's quite thin on the wrist and it sits really really well. Um, One detail that we have added is the watch is provided with two buckles. One is with a pink gold coating, and the other one is the regular steel buckle that we offered also with a gilt spectre. So full package. We still often do a very very nice thing with the packaging. Miguel, you want to explain how the watch is delivered?
So the watches delivery is in this like all wooden box. Like this come from the beginning of the identity of the brand, because I had this idea like when you go to your grandpa's house and you find some treasure from the past. So the package was this wanted to give this sensation. So it have like the a leather roll inside and also all the schematics of the watch, like because our background is architectural background. So I wanted to like showcase this all the all the drawings and all the small details that you can maybe if you only see the watch and you don't see the inner parts you cannot appreciate, like the cross section of the watch with how the hands fit one with another with the round tips. So all that the technical details that has so much precision and detail from our side, we wanted also to showcase it in some way, so you can also show it in the sheet in the package that the watch come from.
Very nice. Very, very good touch that tells about your story as well.
Oh yeah,
And the reason why you ended up being into watches as well,
yeah,
because of
that's it.
your love for arts as
Yeah.
well, which is also very well expressed in your other collection, which is the Vesper collection. It is also listed on our website, on which I know you are bringing some changes. Yes,
Yeah.
to some extent. Yeah, what's happening there?
So we are also improving in the Vesper. It took a little bit of time, but very soon when everything will be finalized, we will able to show it. Also in some small little secret, maybe in Watch and Wonder, we will have some way to show it in a different kind of way that maybe you can always we will see there. So we will also see the Vesper in a different form in Watch and Wonders. So it will be.
Very good. Okay, very good, very good. So we'll be there. Where are you exhibiting at Watches and Wonders?
I cannot still. We will not exhibit as a brand, but we will be present there in Watch and Wonders.
Yeah,
Maybe so when it's finalized and official, we can share more.
very good. Okay, that's perfect. Well, This is happening today. The launch of the Black Ember. It will be now live on social medias and on our platform as well, on the limited edition. So have a look. The watches are now available. You can order other limited edition, or you can also talk to Miguel and let us know if you like the piece when you receive it. And yeah, we can give the green light um, for the lucky early birds that purchased the watch with the first batch of production to show it out there,
Oh
in
yeah.
public, as everything is now public and is now live. So thank you so much, Miguel.
No, thank
Good luck
you.
on all the developments.
Sure,
I know
thank
you
you very much.
your heart and soul into solidifying and cementing Ophion presence as one of the very, very interesting artisan independent watchmakers. So good luck to you and well done. And I will see you very soon.
No, thank you very much. Also, good luck with your new endeavor with the showroom, and thank you very much for everything. It's always a pleasure working with you and how much you have supported us too. So thank you very much for everything. We really appreciate it. And I
Thank
hope
you.
to see you soon.
And one last shout to Amer as
Oh yeah.
well, that will be with us today. And yeah, if eventually on the creative side, if you message the horophile, Amer will also be happy to discuss with you how the all the aesthetical choices and the choices of materials have been made when we conceived this piece together. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching this, and feel free to send all your messages, comments, questions directly on this stream, or we are reachable, of course, via our website. You will find a WhatsApp number there. It goes directly into my phone, so we can be in touch and discuss watches as we generally do. For those that are in London and want to see the piece in the metal, our showroom in London is by appointment. You can contact us again through the website or through WhatsApp. We'll make an appointment for you. We'll offer you a nice coffee or a nice glass of whiskey, and we can look at watches and have a wonderful time together. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.